Later that evening, the engines listened with wonder to Thomas's story.
The logs are lost. I feel badly.
But Thomas, you're the hero of the rescue center.
Thomas smiled.
Thank you, Percy. I want to do everything I can to help the rescue center be the best ever. I did what I thought was right.
And you were right, Thomas. You made the right decision to pull Diesel back. You didn't wait to be asked or to be told. You did the best thing, the right thing. And that makes you the most really useful engine.
The other engines hooted and tooted. Thomas was the most really useful engine.
Diesel lost the Joby wood. That is very bad, and I am very cross. The search and rescue center will be delayed. New Joby wood must be found, and that will take time. But you, Thomas, have a special reward. You will visit the search and rescue center on the mainland.
Thank you, sir.
Thomas's pistons pumped with pride. The next day, all Thomas's friends came to the docks to say goodbye. Spencer was also going to the mainland on the ship. He had to work for the Duke and Duchess. Salty rolled over.
Please, Salty, tell us some of your old stories of the sea while I wait to be loaded.
I can tell 'ee tales of Misty Island.
Yes, please, Salty.
Tell us the tales.
Misty Island is a small island. It's not far away, but it is always covered in mist. No one can remember seeing Misty Island.
I think I do. But it was a long, long time ago. Perhaps the mist lifted.
Perhaps, Edward. Misty Island is a mystery. Some say there are strange engines that live there. They say that they huff and puff in very strange ways. But no one has ever seen them. Not that I've heard of.
The engine's eyes were wide with wonder.
Oh, yes. There's a lot of mysteries on Misty Island, that's for sure. There's the smoke signals.
Smoke signals?
An engine was lost on Misty Island. He huffed and he chuffed. He hoped for help. He puffed 3 times, but no one could see. So he puffed again. 1, 2, 3. And as the mist lifted, he was saved.
The engines were hushed. Their axles were tingling.
If I was lost, Percy, I'd puff 3 times too. 1 for luck, 1 for me, and 1 for you.
And I'd come to save you.
Diesel has come to say goodbye and good luck, Thomas.
Goodbye, Thomas.
And?
Good luck, Thomas.
Back to work, Diesel. No delay.
There's no room for you, Thomas. You must wait for the next boat.
I want to be at the mainland rescue center as quickly as possible.
Then, Thomas saw a large wooden raft.
Look, that's perfect. I can ride to the mainland on that.
The dock manager was worried.
The chains are rusty.
Don't worry. I make good decisions. I will travel on the raft.
So, Cranky lifted Thomas onto the raft.
Goodbye, my friends.
Goodbye, Thomas.
The engines whistled and wheeshed. Percy watched. He was worried.
Are you sure you're safe on the raft?
Safe as engines, Percy. Sir Topham Hatt says I make good decisions. I'll be back soon. Remember, 3 puffs of steam and you'll find me.
Percy smiled bravely.
Goodbye, Thomas.
Goodbye, Percy.
Then the steamboat hooted long and low and sailed to sea, pulling Thomas behind it. Thomas was far out to sea. Darkness fell, and so did the mist. Thomas couldn't see anything, but he could hear something. It was a creak, and a crunch, and then a crack, and a splash. Thomas was scared.
Fizzling fireboxes! The chain to the steamboat has snapped! Help!
Thomas whistled and wheeshed, but no one could hear him. The steamboat steamed away. Thomas was left on his raft. The waves tossed and turned, and turned and tossed, until Thomas fell fast asleep. Thomas rocked and rolled on the sea until morning. Then Thomas's eyes popped open. He jumped and bumped forward onto land.
Fenders and fireboxes! Where am I?
Thomas steamed slowly forward. He peered around. It was very, very misty and very, very quiet. Thomas could only see trees and hills. He tooted his whistle. But there was no answer.
Oh my! This is a strange place. There are no engines. It can't be Sodor, and it can't be the mainland.
Thomas's wheels wobbled with worry.
There must be a dock and some ships. If I find them, I can sail back to Sodor.
So Thomas clickety-clacked carefully into the mist. Then, strange things started to happen. First, Thomas heard wheels rattling and racing on rusty rails. He stopped, startled.
Who's there?
But Thomas could see no engine, and no engine answered.
I will not be scared. I will find a way to puff home to my friends by the end of the day.
Next, Thomas was sprayed by a shower of small stones. Thomas stopped, scared.
Who's there?
But Thomas could see no engine, and no engine answered. Then Thomas chuffed through a valley. Wild whistles echoed and bounced off his boiler. Thomas's firebox fizzed with fear.
Who's there? I will not be scared. I will find a way to puff home to my friends by the end of the day.
Thomas raced away with a clickety-clack along the track and around a bend. Then he screeched to a stop. Thomas was fender to fender with 3 of the strangest engines he had ever seen.
Cinders and ashes. Who are you?
But the engines didn't answer, and they didn't look friendly. Thomas's boiler bubbled bravely.
I'm Thomas. Who are you?
The engines chuffed cheekily.
I'm Bash. I'm Dash.
And I'm Ferdinand.
The 2 smaller engines wheezed and teased.
We live here.
Where's here?
Misty Island.
Misty Island? This is Misty Island?
The little engines puffed proudly.
Have you heard of it?
Thomas trembled on the tracks.
Yes, I have.
We're the logging locos. We saw you arrive. But you didn't see us!
We played rattling wheels and whistling whistles with you.
But you didn't play with us!
You can now, if you want.
That's right.
But Thomas didn't want to play with Bash, Dash, and Ferdinand. He hadn't liked their games. They were too strange. They were too scary.
No, thank you. I come from the island of Sodor. Now, I'm going back there. Goodbye.
And Thomas wheeshed and whooshed backwards down the track and away from the logging locos. Thomas huffed happily along. He was pleased with his decision.
I make good decisions, that's what I was told. I will not be fearful. I'll be brave and bold.
Later, the mist rolled in and the darkness fell. Thomas had chuffed and huffed all day. Now, he couldn't see to puff forward further. He hadn't found the docks or a way off Misty Island.
I make good decisions, that's what I was told. I will not be fearful. I'll be brave and bold.
But now, Thomas wasn't feeling so brave or so bold.